There are moments in life when everything seems aligned, when the universe feels as though it's working on your behalf. You may have come here today because deep down, you feel something changing. Maybe you've been struggling, weighed down by financial burdens or doubts about your future. But let me tell you, this moment is not by chance. It's a divine moment, one where the universe is opening up to you, preparing a blessing meant for you. If you're watching this, it's because the universe is ready to shift things in your favor. In life, there are moments that stand out, moments when everything seems to align perfectly. Perhaps you've been feeling the weight of uncertainty or the longing for something more. But the truth is, there is a profound significance in the moment you are in right now. Right now, the universe is preparing something extraordinary for you. It's not a coincidence that you found yourself here today, listening to these words. This is the divine moment that has been set aside for your transformation. Much like the teachings of the Buddha, this moment is a reminder that everything is connected. The universe, much like the cycle of life, is always moving, always in balance, always seeking harmony. But how do we align ourselves with this force? How do we position ourselves to receive the abundant blessings it has to offer? The answer lies in faith and trust. Faith is not just about believing in something unseen. It's about trusting that there is a greater plan for us, even when we don't fully understand it. The Buddhist teachings often speak of faith as the foundation of spiritual growth. It is the first step in opening ourselves to the boundless potential that lies within. Without faith, we remain locked in doubt and fear, unable to take that first step into the unknown. Just as the lotus flower blooms from the muddy waters, our own growth requires that we trust in the unseen forces of the universe, or as some might say, trust in the Dharma, the cosmic law that guides us. When you align yourself with the flow of the universe, you declare that you are ready. I receive becomes your mantra, a statement of readiness and acceptance of the blessings and opportunities that are destined to flow into your life. This is not merely an affirmation, it's a deep spiritual commitment to trust the process and open yourself to the transformative power of faith. You may be looking at your life, particularly your financial situation, and wondering how anything could change. Maybe your bank account is not where you want it to be, or perhaps you feel stuck in a cycle of stress and worry. But the true nature of the universe's blessings is often hidden beneath the surface, much like the teachings of the Buddha on impermanence. Things are always in motion, even when they seem stagnant. The universe works in subtle ways, much like the concept of karma. We may not always see the results of our actions immediately, but they are unfolding nonetheless. A seed grows deep beneath the soil before it ever reaches the light, and so too are your blessings being nurtured in unseen realms. Trust that the universe is at work. It's preparing a way for you, even when the path is not yet visible. Buddhism teaches us that we cannot cling to attachments or expectations of how our blessings should appear. The universe's provision does not operate according to our limited human understanding. When you let go of these attachments and trust in the unseen process, you open the door for miracles to happen. The law of abundance is one that flows endlessly through the universe. It is constant, like the river of life that moves whether we are watching it or not. But we often allow fear, doubt, or material limitations to block our connection to this flow. When we look at our bank account or our material circumstances, we may see a lack rather than the infinite possibilities that exist beyond our current reality. But here's the truth. The universe does not work within the confines of your current circumstances. It is infinite, unbound by time or space. And when the universe decides to bless you, it does so without limitations. This is where faith plays its role. Faith is not just about wishing for a change. It's about believing before you see the results. It's about aligning yourself with the universal flow, knowing that the abundance that you desire is already on its way. In Buddhism, the concept of trust is central. Trust in the process of life, trust in the teachings of the Buddha, and trust in your own path. The law of karma states that our actions and intentions are like seeds planted in the ground. When we plant seeds of faith, they will bear fruit in the right time. The key is to trust the process, even when you cannot see the immediate outcome. When you align yourself with the universal flow, miracles happen naturally. It's like tuning into the right frequency. Once you are aligned, opportunities start to appear. It might be a phone call with a life-changing opportunity or a financial deposit that you weren't expecting. Perhaps it's a new job offer or an unexpected windfall. The universe is always working on your behalf. You only need to believe that it is possible and allow it to unfold. Believing in the flow of abundance is one thing, but walking that path requires action. Just as the Buddha's path of enlightenment is not just about knowledge, but about practice, faith requires action. The universe calls us to trust not just by believing, but by acting in faith. Whether it's through acts of kindness, taking a leap of faith in your career, or simply stepping into new opportunities, each step you take aligns you more with the universe's abundant flow. The teachings of the Buddha emphasize the importance of right action, actions that are in harmony with our higher self in the universe. When we act in alignment with the flow, we create space for the blessings to enter. These actions are not always grand. Sometimes they are as simple as being patient or making small decisions that align with our highest good. Trusting that the universe is guiding you and taking those steps with confidence is the bridge between your desires and their manifestation. In your journey, there will be times when the universe's timing feels off, when things don't happen as quickly as you want them to. But much like the story of the Buddha's enlightenment, it's in the waiting that we grow the most. The universe works in its perfect timing, and sometimes the timing is beyond our understanding. But when we let go of our expectations and trust the divine timing, miracles unfold. In Buddhist philosophy, we are reminded that all things come in their own time. The lotus does not bloom overnight, and the fruits of our labor do not always come immediately. But when we trust in the process, when we remain patient, the abundance we seek will appear, often in ways more magnificent than we could have ever imagined. As the blessings begin to flow, remember that gratitude is the key to maintaining them. The Buddha teaches us to practice right mindfulness and gratitude in all things, knowing that even in our struggles, there are lessons to be learned. When you receive your blessings, be mindful of how you use them. The universe has provided for you, not just for your own enjoyment, but to share and build with others. True abundance is not just about accumulation, it's about sharing the wealth you have, whether that's financial, spiritual, or emotional. The more you give, the more you receive. Gratitude keeps the flow of abundance going, ensuring that your blessings multiply and that you remain aligned with the universe's generosity. In life, there are moments that feel like destiny, moments when you know that something extraordinary is about to unfold. If you're here reading these words, it's no accident. The universe is speaking directly to you right now. But here's the thing. Believing isn't enough. The universe doesn't want us to just sit back and wait for things to change. It calls us to act in faith. This is where the real magic happens. Faith without action is like a bird with broken wings. It cannot fly, no matter how strong the wind or how wide the sky. Faith must be paired with action. The leap, the step, the trust in the unknown. It's when you move forward, even when the path isn't clear, that the universe begins to align everything for you. It's when you trust and act that you open the door to miracles. Think about the Buddha's journey. He didn't stay in his palace, shielded from the world. He ventured out, took the first step, and trusted that the truth he sought was out there waiting for him. He acted on faith. And so must you. Acting in faith is the key to unlocking your divine breakthrough. Let me tell you a story. There was once a farmer in ancient India, a simple man with nothing more than his hands and his land. Year after year, despite the harshest of conditions, he practiced one unwavering principle: giving. The first fruits of every harvest were shared with others in need. Many advised him to keep everything for himself, especially when the crops were thin. But he continued, trusting the universe's promise that his generosity would be returned. One year, after an especially dry season, the harvest was so poor that the farmer thought he'd have nothing to give. Yet even then, he continued with his tradition of sharing, though the food was sparse. Miraculously, right after his final act of generosity, the rains came, and the crops began to flourish. What seemed like a lost cause turned into an abundant harvest. The farmer's faith in action aligned him with the universe's flow, and the results were beyond his wildest dreams. This story echoes a powerful truth. When we act with faith, we align ourselves with the flow of abundance. The universe will provide in ways we can't always predict, but when we trust and take action, miracles will unfold. As you open yourself to the flow of blessings, there's one thing you must remember: gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite thank you, it's a profound acknowledgement of the divine energy that flows through your life. Without gratitude, we risk becoming detached from the universe's gifts. In Buddhist teachings, gratitude is seen as the most powerful tool for maintaining balance and harmony. The Buddha often spoke about the importance of recognizing everything, both good and bad, as a gift. Even in hardship, there is a lesson, a moment to grow. Gratitude is the bridge between what you have and what you will receive. It shifts your mindset from lack to abundance, opening the floodgates for more to flow into your life. Let's revisit an old story of a king who, despite his wealth, was never truly happy. He had everything, yet he was always dissatisfied, feeling as if something was missing. One day, a humble beggar crossed his path. The beggar was poor in material things, but rich in wisdom. The beggar spoke of the power of gratitude, of seeing the divine in every small moment. The king, moved by his words, began practicing gratitude every day, not just for his wealth, but for the simple pleasures and the challenges that taught him lessons. Over time, his kingdom flourished, and so did his soul. The king found peace, abundance, and joy, not because he acquired more, but because he gave thanks for what he already had. This story illustrates the profound truth that when we are grateful, we unlock the doors to even more blessings. It's not about accumulating wealth or success, but about acknowledging the abundance that already surrounds us. Now let's dive into something even more powerful: unexpected provision. The universe doesn't operate on the same timeline we do. When you felt the weight of financial struggles, when you've stayed awake wondering how you'll make it through, it can feel like nothing is ever going to change. But trust me, the universe has not forgotten you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The universe specializes in making the impossible possible. Just as the lotus grows from the muck of a pond, your blessings are preparing to bloom, even in what seems like the darkest of times. Maybe you've been struggling with bills, debt, or the sense that no matter how hard you try, something always stands in your way. But the universe sees your perseverance. It sees your silent battles, your quiet faith. Here's the truth: what once seemed unattainable is about to become your reality. The universe is already working behind the scenes to bring the blessings you've been waiting for. The key is to stay open. When the universe's provision arrives, and it will, be ready to claim it. Speak positivity over your life. Claim your blessings. Let the universe know you are ready to receive. In this process of transformation, patience is essential. The universe works in divine timing, something that can be difficult to understand. We're often so focused on the now that we forget the universe's timing is perfect. If you look at nature, you'll see that everything blooms in its time, just as your breakthroughs will come when they are meant to. The Buddhist teachings remind us that true peace comes when we trust in the flow of life, even when it doesn't happen as quickly as we like. Patience teaches us to have faith in the process, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Let me share another story. There was a poor monk who had nothing, no wealth, no possessions, just his robes and his bowl. Despite his poverty, he gave whatever little he had to others, trusting that the universe would provide. One day, when he was near starvation, he went to a nearby village seeking food. Miraculously, a rich man appeared and offered him not only food but also shelter. This man, once a poor disciple of the monk, had become wealthy through the teachings of generosity. The universe had repaid the monk's faithfulness, providing for him in ways he never imagined. This story shows us that divine timing is always at work. We may not see it immediately, but the universe is always moving, preparing something incredible for us. Trust the process and trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring everything you need. Now I want you to take a moment to declare with conviction, "The universe provides for me. I am ready for divine provision." Say it aloud and let that statement fill your soul with power. Your financial breakthrough is closer than you think. The universe has a plan for you, one that is filled with abundance, blessings, and prosperity. Trust in the divine timing and act in faith. The universe has always provided for those who believe. And now it's your turn. Believe in the flow. Believe in your divine provision. And take action, because when you align with the universe, the floodgates of abundance will open wide. So, take a deep breath. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Walk with faith, and the universe will show you what's possible. Your breakthrough is just around the corner, and it's going to be more incredible than you can imagine.